Hi guys, Larissa here with Mayarts Ribbon, and I wanted to share with you how I made my cute little bows for these tags and stuff that I shared in the last video. You can use any of the different kinds of ribbon, and depending on what ribbon you get, you're going to get a completely different look for the bow, but it's still exactly the same technique, and it is just super, I just love it. I think they're beautiful. So anyway, I wanted to share with you how to do that, and the ribbon that I'm going to be using is this beautiful red and white striped candy cane ribbon, and this is 3363814. And what I love about this ribbon is that it's double-sided, so you get a more bang for your buck. Not only that, but when you have your bows, you can see the two different colors, and it just looks beautiful. So anyway, this is silk ribbon, and you can tell it just looks really beautiful. It's kind of drapey and fun. I've done this bow with the raffia back behind here, the same technique, or burlap, I guess is what it's called. And this is just the burlap twine, and so it just looks really fun. And then this is a little bit thicker, more of like a coarse ribbon, and it looks completely different, but it was tied in the exact same way. So like I said, depending on what ribbon you use, you're going to get a completely different look. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is take about 3 feet of ribbon, and we'll cut a little bit off for our bow at the end. But you can use any amount that you want, depending on how full you want your bow to be. I like nice full bulky bows because I just love ribbon, so I'm going to use a lot more ribbon than probably some people. All you're going to do is take your ribbon and lay it across your hand, and my hand's a nice medium-sized hand, so if you have a larger hand you might only want to do 3 fingers. If you have a littler hand, you might want to just leave it a little looser when you're wrapping it. Anyway, I'm just going to take it and I'm just going to start wrapping. On my less full bows, I like to do 3 wraps. On these bigger bulky bows, I like to do 6. So once you get that wrapped, and then you always want to make sure that things we started with the end of the ribbon on this side, you want the other ribbon to end on this side. So I'm going to end it right there, and I'm going to cut my ribbon, and that way when you when you end up, you have an end on either side, so your bow looks balanced. And then I'm just going to pinch it in the middle, and I'm going to take the same ribbon and I'm just going to tie a knot around that piece. And with the silk and the burlap, it's a lot easier to do all in your hand. And then you just want to pull it tight and make sure that you get it as tight as you can, because that's what's going to make it easier to fan out and give your bowl some bulkiness once you get done. Now you can leave your ends a little longer depending on what you're going to use your bow for. If you want it for a layering piece, you probably want to cut your ends off. If you want to use it for a bow, you'll want to keep your ends a little longer. And sometimes, like with the silk, I'll actually just tie a bow in the center rather than cutting the ends off. But then all you're going to do is fan out the edges like this. So you're just going to take it and pull it apart and fan out the edges, the different pieces of your bow. And then you can either layer it with other ribbon or with a die cut shape or a sticker or just anything that you want to do. But I just love these bows, and I think they're tons of fun. And like I said, depending on what ribbon you use, you end up with something different every time. So then if you wanted to cut these off a little bit, you could cut these off a little bit more. And like this one's the back piece, so I'll cut that so you can't see it. And then what I like to do on mine, I like to layer. So I would grab about 6 inches of the burlap small twine, and I like to loop it. So I fold it in half so I have 2 pieces, because I like my bows to look like they're double tied. And then I'm just going to tie a double bow, and then get it the size that I want. And then I'll just, once I get that size that I want, I'll cut off the ends where I want them. And usually I add a glue dot, sometimes depending on whether it's going to go through the mail or whether I'm just using it on a project. I'll just use a glue dot and stick it right in the middle of my bow. And there you have a beautiful, beautiful bow. And you can do this even fuller. Like you can tell if you wanted a complete circle, instead of doing 6 layers, you would keep doing layers. So you'd probably need more like 10 wraps to go around to make a full circle for your bow. But anyway, I hope that gives you some fun ideas on different bow to use for using your May Arts ribbons, and I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and the projects that I've made. So thanks so much for watching. Please come and visit the blog, and have a fabulous, fabulous day.